The Section 194 committee in Parliament, which was set up for the Public Protector's impeachment inquiry, will be meeting today after several attempts by Advocate Busisiwe Mkhwebane to halt its work. This follows a Constitutional Court judgment that dismissed Mkhwebane's rescission application last week. Now, she had further challenged an earlier judgment that paved the way for the impeachment inquiry to get underway. Newzroom Afrika's Athi Mtongana live for us in Parliament today. Athi, good morning to you. I know it's been it's been a long time coming, as you have heard me mention in that intro. The Public Protector, Advocate Mkhwebane, doing her best to try and thwart this Section 194 from proceeding. Where are things right now in Parliament as per this committee?
Well, Goli, I just want to begin by going back to the Constitutional Court judgment which came out last week, which also forms part of the litigation around halting the Section 194 impeachment inquiry from getting underway in Parliament. But the court, in essence, Goli, just to read out that very small judgment, it's actually about 2 pages. It's not even a long judgment, but in conclusion, this is what the Constitutional Court found when the Public Protector challenged an earlier judgment that paved the way, as you said, to get that Section 194 inquiry going in Parliament. And so what they essentially said is that the court has concluded that the rescission application does not establish rescindable errors in the judgment. The Public Protector must note that in her challenging the earlier judgment, she found some errors in that particular judgment. And so the court says there are no errors. And so it also says, Goli, that there's also no exceptional circumstance that warrant the rescission of the judgment. So this, interestingly, coming out, Goli, last week at the Constitutional Court, at the back of what the Public Protector deems an illegal SMS from an individual called Ismail Abramji. She actually went to lay criminal charges in Brooklyn last week following that illegal SMS, as she deems it. In that SMS, Goli, I can tell you that the sender of the SMS, who's in this case alleged to be Abramji, Ismail Abramji, he mentioned to one of the counsels who are involved in the court proceedings, particularly the representation, the legal representation of the Speaker of the National Assembly. Abramji allegedly sent that SMS telling them that the Constitutional Court will actually dismiss Mkhwebane's rescission application and that he has it on good authority. And so the Public Protector says it was unscrupulous for him to actually know what the court would say before the judgment was actually handed down. And as I read it to you, Goli, it actually did dismiss the Public Protector's rescission application. In fact, some of the charges that the Public Protector has leveled against Abramji, I want to read them to you, include contempt of court on 2 counts, as well as defeating the cause of justice, and also perjury, as well as corruption. Now, it's interesting that the Public Protector is not only laying these charges that I've just read out to Ismail Abramji, but she's also alleging that anyone else that was involved will, in this case, be perhaps the second accused or even the third accused, depending on how the investigations will go, where they will find that he got this information. That person who gave him the information might also face the same charges that they've now leveled and have went to lay at the Brooklyn police station. And so all of that, Goli, happening while the Speaker of the National Assembly telling Parliament that they should go ahead with meeting that particular Section 194 committee to meet. And it's interesting that the Speaker of Parliament, actually sent out a letter not so long ago to the President, telling the President that they are ready as Parliament to get the Section 194 inquiry going, but then the President wrote back to the Speaker informing the Speaker that he would be instituting suspensions against the public protector, whom is now challenging that suspension by the President at the Western Cape High Court. She still is going to be going to the Western Cape High Court, where she wants to not only halt the impeachment inquiry from taking place in Parliament, but she also is challenging that suspension by President Cyril Ramaphosa, saying that there is conflict of interest given the fact that she is investigating the President on some of the cases that the Office of the Public Protector is working on. She's also questioning that particular communication between the Speaker of the National Assembly and the President, and also subsequently still saying that she wants Parliament to halt that impeachment inquiry. But what will take place today is the meeting of the members of that committee, and they will be briefed by Parliament's constitutional and legal services on how they will proceed going forward, given the fact that this matter is subject to court.
A very thorough update there from our colleague in Parliament, Athi Mtongana. Thank you very much for that update.